Here is a 2023 Toyota Camry TRD in wind chill pearl with a two-tone gloss black roof. TRD, what does it entail? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and that's what I'm gonna go over. Up front, you're gonna get that spoiler. It's an aero kit with the pinstripe that starts on the sides. Gloss black is going to be found on the enlarged grille and right near the Toyota badging that brushes into your headlamp assembly, and the gloss black underneath it, and even on the side curtain, gloss black. There's not necessarily a lot of breathing involved here. It's more of a visual. But I like this setup because this is the 3.5 liter V6. Weight distribution doesn't change. It's still 6139, but the clearance does. TRD lowers the ride 0.6 inches. It's going to be a more rigid, TRD tuned suspension, stiffer chassis with a thicker underbody brace. And the wheel design is going to be unique to the TRD, 19-inch matte black with the badging. Behind it, dual piston calipers covered in red. 12.1-inch disc reading. It's enlarged for the front. The rear is still at the 11.1 inches. Everything has been TRD altered for the suspension and for the height of the vehicle, except for the engine. That 3.5 liter V6, it's still pumping out 301 horsepower and 268 pound-feet of torque, paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. But the nice thing about Camrys is you're still achieving 22 mpgs for the city and 31 mpgs for the highway. So this is your pocket rocket, but it's enlarged for a family of 5 with cargo. It's not track derived, but it's fast enough. 0 to 60 is around 6 seconds, quarter mile in the 14-second perimeter. This is a Camry. This is not like an Audi, a BMW. What are we getting here? That aero kit, it goes on the lower. You're gonna get the pinstripe and it brushes all the way into the rear bumper. The lines keep that sporty Q similar to the XSE, but they turn it up a notch. Look at the rear. You get the pinstripe that goes into these unique dual exhaust outlets, TRD badging, and you would expect nothing but performance out of this by looking at the aesthetics from this. Rear diffuser, the trunk lid gets the spoiler. This is enlarged. This is TRD spec, which right there's the badging if you need more proof. When you're thinking about an Acura or a Honda, you don't really have to think further because this thing's backing performance, family use, longevity. Services are going to be inexpensive, and the stance of it is the most aggressive in its class. Quick release to 15.1 cubic feet of storage with some bag holders on both sides. And underneath the floor, the jack stand and a spare tire. What kind of a sports car with over 300 horsepower do you know gives that? With the TRD catback exhaust. Let's go inside, start it up so you can hear it now. Going inside the TRD Camry that is lowered to the ground because of the sports tuned suspension from the TRD, and they just want to make it a little bit more athletic. 38.3 inches of headroom, 42.1 inches of legroom. The sport design comes with the contrast stitching throughout the cabin. Soft tech trim sport seats with TRD badging in the headlight. You get the pattern red seat belts, 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 6-way manual adjustment for the passenger. Gloss black is going to surround the housing of the infotainment and around the air vents with a simulated aluminum look on the passenger side and the satin aluminum on the driver's side. Going into the 9-inch touchscreen with 9 speakers, that includes a subwoofer and an amplifier. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM. AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Standard will be a 7-inch touchscreen with 6 speakers and hands-free Bluetooth connectivity. Put it into reverse. We got a reverse camera with trajectory. The lines expand, and you can change the camera layout, and you can also take those lines off. Standard climate control with a USB and a 12 volt. Wireless charging pad, we do not have it on this. You can open that up and you have a storage pocket. TRD with the leather wrap around the gear lever and the contrast stitching. The key fob for the Camry. Driving mode select, so you have Eco, Normal, and Sport. Only thing it will change is on that 4.2 TF display, the color on the top. Eco and Normal will be blue, Sport will be red. It's going to be soft where you're going to rest your arms, open up inside to 2 USB ports, and a storage compartment that is deep and wide. Leather wrap steering wheel, 3-spoke, contrast stitching in red, multi-function, paddle shifters, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, analog for the tach and odometer. In the center, you have an array of information for the driver. The push button start, and the dashboard keeps a more simple layout with the JBL audio sound system on the top, and the door panel gets the everyday on the top, satin aluminum that runs in. It's going to start getting a little bit more soft, and it's a little bit more sporty for the arm. So one touch up and down for the windows, and a medium-sized storage pocket, and a hidden storage pocket for the driver. For the back seats, 38 inches of headroom, 38 inches of legroom in this V6 sports car. The center does not receive any armrest, nor air vents or USB ports, just a storage tray and storage behind both of the front seats. The door panel has the same materials that are found in the front, so nothing stripped out, and a smaller storage pocket with a couple of beverage holders. Sitting into the center, headroom is still not an issue, nor is leg space, even though I'm kind of against the back of the front seat in the position I'd be sitting. I am going to be sharing butt and shoulder space because of the way the seat is designed, but this is still derived for a sports car and family use. 3 occupants at 6'3", my dimensions can fit. 301 horsepower out of this TRD Camry. That's standard. There's no upgrades to it. 267 pound-feet of torque. That's standard. The upgrades is lowered suspension. It's more rigid, but you get this exhaust. It's lovely. Catback exhaust makes it worth its while. Unfortunately, it doesn't filter in as much as I would like it to, because you have to hit more of a 3 RPM to really hear, but the sound deadening to the TRD Camry is a lot better than going into an XSE or an XLE, and you get the performance drive to it. That's gonna take me to some things I like and dislike, and starting off with is what I like about the TRD Camry. This is not track driven, don't get me wrong. But this is performance with family in mind. So you don't have to go up to a Lexus and Infiniti or the Germans. You get that underneath here. Around 6 seconds, 0 to 60 is quick. Turn radius is gonna be a little bit difficult because I'm blocked by this Corolla L. And the reason why you can tell it's an L, because they got hubcaps, they don't have any wheels. But as we're moving forward, you're getting about 2 and a part lane. I'm gonna just get behind the Lexus and just be done with it. The second thing that I like about the vehicle, even though it's a long vehicle, maneuverability is easy. Weight distribution isn't the best, but you still have that playful feel. And if you need to do some maneuverability, look at this. And that catback exhaust just gives that signature touch. The last thing that I like is this is at a sweet spot price point as well. You're in the mid-30s. Deck it out, you're around 39, maybe 40. Try to get that with the sports car that has everything that this has with a family in mind. 3 things that I dislike about the vehicle is the aero kit. It looks like it was just tacked on with double-sided tape. It would look a little bit more usable if it was actually part of the skirt. The second thing that I dislike is you only get this option of an engine. There's no tuning to it. The only thing that they really rework is the suspension and the brakes. The last thing that I dislike is the steering wheel does not look as athletic as the rest of the vehicle. The floor mats get TRD, the headrest get TRD, but you don't put it anywhere else on the dash or on the steering wheel, but you put it on the gear lever. So just maybe a few little touches to give some of that sport attributes, but for a package deal, you're getting upgraded sound system, 9 speakers, including a subwoofer. You don't have to worry about that. You got the exhaust, which sounds like this. It's playful when it needs to be. It's family oriented, all mixed in. And there is really no vehicle that's in this price category that gives you that much capabilities and a fun to drive, plus a car that you know is not problematic. When you get into sports cars, I mean, let's face it, you're gonna start spending a lot more money for service. You're not gonna have that issue with a Camry TRD because they didn't do anything to the engine nor the transmission. They only lowered the ride and gave upgrades to the suspension and the brakes. I'd like to thank Stadium Toyota for giving us this 2023 Toyota Camry TRD for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click the next video first because it's gonna be about a Toyota. The subscribe button. Check out the merchandise website, Instagram, leave a comment and a like.